that the streamers at home hear your questions. Coach.
Very solid win for our girls. I mean, I thought that they started the game with a lot of energy. I mean, very energetic, but also active defensively. And against a team like Clemson that works the way that they do, rebounds the way that they do, specifically offensively, and it tries to attack the basket, our defense was key. And we started the game very solid. Had a couple lapses here and there, but we continue to recover. We again put together a 40-minute game, and for us, when that happens, we have very positive results. So very proud of their effort tonight.
All right, questions? In the back.
Tina, you knew coming into this season that there were going to be growing pains. So can you see some of those lumps you took early on now coming out the other side of it in games like this tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Our first-year kids are growing up, and I have said it before that they are kind of like learning in process, that they really didn't have that kind of time or cushion to be able to work through things that usually most first-year kids do. And our upperclassmen, our seniors our fourth years have done a very good job of just kind of pulling them along. But how we work every day is a testament to that. Like, we don't have time to kind of like stop and figure it out and teach in a way that is not constantly moving. So I'm really proud of them and where they are at this moment, having a comfort, but also a confidence in being able to play and be effective in the ACC.
And then the other side of that, as those first years get more comfortable and more reliable, can you see that sort of lessening the load on those upperclassmen who were doing so much of the heavy lifting early?
Absolutely. I mean, we still rely heavily on Lisa, Jocelyn, and Dominique. I mean, they are the core of this team, and the active players that were here last year, so they have an understanding of our system. But yes, when our first years can come in and contribute and execute in a way that's positive for us, it definitely gives them relief, and it gives me an opportunity to give them a little break every now and then. Right, Lisa?
You have any other questions?
Congratulations, Carol, on your new high score. How do you feel things have progressed for you this year?
I feel like I started off really well and very consistent, and then kind of dropped off a little, and my confidence lowered, and I wasn't really myself. But I feel like these past few games, I've been really confident and sure of myself, and not second guessing myself. So hopefully this continues until the end of the season, so I can keep helping the team.
Any other questions?
Lisa, just from your perspective, as the younger girls have kind of come of age, so to speak, how has that impacted the team as a whole and just what you guys are able to do in attack teams?
I think we're just becoming more and more balanced, so it's harder for any team to defend us because we don't have, our top two scorers of Nikki and Jocelyn doing all the heavy lifting, like Coach T said, but we have consistently 6, 7, maybe even 8 players who can score in double figures, who have an impact on the game. So it just opens up things for everybody else, and it makes it easier for us as upperclassmen to get our shots, get our rebounds, because they have to focus on Kylie, who's rebounding, and Carol, who's getting in there. So it's a lot more fun also for us because we can, play as a team and finally show the work that we've all put in together, that it's, having fruits.
Could you see, you talked about that, but could you see as the season was progressing that light bulbs were starting to turn on and people were starting to figure things out and things were, going in the right direction?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, we've been, sometimes a little bit inconsistent, but, these flashes happen from game to game. So at the beginning, there were fewer where was maybe more forced shots or just more work to get our points. And then more and more, we get transition points, we get easy reads, when people are cutting in the right spot, and we just get our feel for each other. And then so it becomes more and more consistent and more frequent game over game over game that we can, have longer lapses of good team play and, less of those thumbs down
Tina, I mean, I know it sounds super obvious, but just the fact that the work's being put in, and now it's translating into wins, to have that tangible result that you can point to that it's paying off, how valuable is that?
Well, it's extremely valuable because we expect a lot of our kids and we expect them to work really hard from start to finish, and we just don't allow them to not give a standard effort, and that's really, really hard work. It's hard to continue to ask that of them and them not see the fruits of their labor. So when that effort, starts turning into wins and they were finally able to see what it looks like, they hear the things that we're telling them and have an understanding of it, but until they actually see it happen, they kind of sort of believe it, but not really. Coach T is not going to tell us something that isn't true, but I just don't see it yet. So once they started seeing those positive things happen and the stuff that we're working on, preparing for games in our scout, the shots being there, if we have a specific defensive effort, how it's going to affect teams, they're more confident, they're more aggressive in it, and knowing that if there's a consistency in that, then it will lead to wins. And it's starting to do that for us. So I'm really proud of them and happy that, the light is starting to get brighter.
Any last questions? All right, thank you, ladies, very much.
Thank you. Go Who's.
Oh, sorry, Mike, we have a question.
Oh, sorry.
No, we can go ahead.
Oh, no, they had 25. We just had 20. Very good defensive effort. I've said over and over again that we hang our hats on our defense and we use our defense to create opportunities for us offensively, but also to kind of create this energy. When we are clicking and we're moving and we're in the proper places defensively, then it changes who we are. It changes how aggressive we are offensively. And we kind of get a little lighter on our feet. We're moving differently. We're cutting differently. So really proud of that effort. And it's something that we emphasized all week, in that if we guard, if we don't allow them to do the things that they do well, if we don't allow them to get in transition, if we don't allow them straight line drives to the basket, and if we make the shots that they normally get a little harder or make them a little bit more uncomfortable, then we can force turnovers, limit them to one opportunity, and get in transition. And our kids executed that very well tonight. Thank you. Again, go Who's. Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.